Hi there people, welcome back to another episode. Today you all join me with some fantastic news. If we are looking at the charts from 9:30 up until now, AMC is up by roughly 10%. This is a positive day after 2 days in the red, so it is nice to see. And now momentum does look like it is building up for AMC once more. A lot of people were thinking that after 2 days in the red, the stock was finished, it was dead, and of course I still believed that it does have some potential, and going forwards I still believe this is the case. So I'm giving you all of my opinions in tonight's one, and of course I want to discuss something which I have been seeing more and more on Reddit and of course on YouTube, with people talking about AMC potentially hitting 1,000. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on that, how likely that is going to happen, but just remember this video is consistent of all of my opinions and nothing more. Obviously not financial advice, just what I think. But if you do hear in very short, personal opinions on the stock market, do make sure to subscribe to this channel. We talk about AMC, we talk about GME, we talk about HCMC and many other stocks which I'm sure you will love to hear in very short videos. So thank you for everything so far. We're coming to 11k subscribers, so massive thank you, but let us jump into this video. So today we are looking at some great action with AMC. Like I said, a strong rally up from 9:30. We can see we hit highs of around $11.36, around 10:50 in the morning. So fantastic. We did see a bit of a sell-off from there. It was to be expected. It wasn't as steep as I would have anticipated, which is good. And now we are actually pretty steady and pretty flat in this area at around the high $10 mark, coming into the low $11 mark. Now in the past few moments, we have been seeing an even larger increase in price. A further 2% was added, and now we are sitting stable around the $11.26 mark. So that is nice. It's good to see us this high up. I definitely think it probably will finish even higher, or at least somewhere in the $11 range. So if we can remain in the $11 range going up to market finish, that will be fantastic, and I would love to see that. But yeah, tonight I just want to talk about some of the things which I have been hearing about people thinking that this stock is going to hit 1,000 and the likelihood of that. And like I did say, this is only just going to be my opinion based on what I have seen and based on what I have been hearing. I'm going to be giving my opinions of that, of course. So right guys, the first thing that I want to discuss is of course the way that this stock has been moving over the past month. Now momentum has slowly been building up in the share price, and I think this is good. In the past 30 days we are up by around 100%, which is fantastic. And I think there is a lot of room for this to continue going forwards into the future. But what you do want to hear is this one going to rally as high as 1,000? Well, I think there's one very important thing to remember. I don't think it is impossible that this one could rally to a few hundred, honestly, in the next few months. And I think the main factor that we do need to remember, whether it's going to hit $200, whether it's going to hit 1,000, or whether it's going to hit 20 or perhaps even 30. I think it is going to take more than a month, or even more than a few months, for this one to hit above, $100 if it is to at all. I think that is initially what we do need to remember. One thing that I do want to bring up is a similar case that we have been seeing with GME. And looking at GME, the stock which has been squeezed the most, the stock which has rallied the most, we can see that from January, the share price was pretty flat. And of course, all the way through the late part of 2020, going forwards into the earlier part of 2021, we were seeing slow but steady builds in action. Now, I know this isn't too big. We can see that from this point here in mid-December up until mid-January, we only increased by 39%, which, yes, that is big, but in comparison to the gains that we have seen previously of over 2,000%, it is minuscule. Now, I think that this is where we could potentially be with AMC right now, in this area before something is to pop off. And I need to say that, in my opinion, these stocks are kind of like a snowball, in the sense that, yes, initially we get the investors which are pumping up the share price, and then we hit this initial point up here, let's say, of about $39. I'm not saying that AMC is going to do the exact same thing, but I think the model could definitely be very similar. So I think we definitely could see a slow and steady increase going forwards. I think that would be good if we could see that. And then initially, once we get this big pop-off in price, I think a lot more people will be paying attention to this. And that is, of course, even better. It could get a lot more people investing in this one for whatever reason, be it fear of missing out, or perhaps they just want to add to the fun and get some extra, funds and profits that they can make. So, of course, no hate to those people. I absolutely do understand it. And then we get to the point where the press is reporting on it, of course, the papers, the news on on television even, there was a lot of people talking about this one. Now what this did is this just spurred the attention around GameStop a lot more. Now where we are at the moment with AMC, a lot of people aren't really talking about AMC in the same way that they were about GameStop. It hasn't really received the same amount of media attention or even the same amount of hype. Now, of course, that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I will let you decide about that. But I think it definitely does leave the door open for some big potential growth going forwards with AMC. So I definitely think this one does have potential to hit maybe $100, perhaps even higher than that, maybe even up to $1,000, guys, who knows. But I think if it is going to rocket by any amount, it is going to be over a longer time frame. Again, I know that I have just mentioned it, but once again, I just do want to point your attention to what happened with GME. It was pretty flat, or at least pretty stable with the growth for a few months, and then it obviously popped off. So don't be expecting this one to explode overnight, and of course, if you do keep your expectations realistic, I think you won't be disappointed. But again, it is quite risky to invest in AMC right now. Of course, it could still be going to the moon. It does have a lot of potential behind it, in my opinion at least. But again, just keep your expectations realistic. And just know the time frame that you want to be investing in this one for. How long do you want to be holding your shares? And of course, how many shares can you afford to hold? And we all know, yes, that AMC shares are never going to zero, but of course it does still have the potential to drop if people do start to lose interest in this one. But in my eyes, I definitely can see this rally continuing on. I just wanted to give you a quick, opinion video based on what we have been seeing, with people saying this one could hit above 1,000 and all that kind of stuff. So that's my opinions, guys. I think it definitely could hit above 100 for sure. 1,000, I think that is on the more high side, but you know what, guys, we've seen stocks like Tesla and stocks of a similar realm rally up massively in price, and at this moment I don't even say that anything is impossible. Of course, we have seen the impossible be defied in the past with, like I've said, many a stock rocketing by extreme amounts, so I'm not even going to say that it can't hit 1,000, but I would say that it's definitely on the extremely high side. But yeah, guys, there is still a lot of upside potential. In tomorrow's one, I'm giving my opinion on what we could be seeing into the next week and that kind of good stuff. If you might enjoy though, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we talk about stocks all the time. But again, I just thought I'd bring you a quick update video talking about the potential of this one hitting up to 1,000. So I know that I just gave you all of my opinions. Perhaps it was a video unusual to the ones that we usually make, but I thought I just needed to share this one with you. So hopefully you did enjoy. Please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow, where we will be back looking at where this one could go into the next week or so. Thank you for watching though. I'll see you then. Goodbye.